All right, for number 9, I hope that you really start to pay attention to how we are going to be solving um, word problems from here on out. So there are a couple things that we always want to do whenever we solve a word problem. So for instance, the first thing we want to do is underline the question. So Jan buys 3 bags of beads. Each bag contains 7 beads. Draw a bar diagram and write an addition equation and a multiplication equation to show how many beads Jan buys. So, what's the question? The question is, how many beads does Jan buy? That's what we want to know. Then we circle the important information. So, she buys 3 bags. And then I'm going to draw that. I'm going to stop and I'm going to do that one step. So 3 bags, 1 and 2 and 3 of beads. Each bag contains 7 beads. Again, more important information. So this bag has 7 beads, this bag has 7 beads, and this bag has 7 beads. And then we need to draw a bar diagram. Let's do that first then. So if we draw a bar diagram, that means I start with a bar. And underneath my bar, I put how many groups. So how many groups? 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to break this into 3 groups. How many are in each group? 7, 7, and 7. And then what goes on the top of the bar diagram? That would be the total. So what is the total? Well, I have a group of 7, and another 7 would make it 14, and another 7 would make it 21. So my bar diagram would look like this. I have 3 groups of 7, and the total is 21. Then it says to write an addition equation. So stop and write the equation. So that's 1 group of 7 plus, here's my second group, 2 groups of 7 plus third group, 3 groups of 7. And we already decided that the answer is 21. Then it says to write a multiplication equation. Stop, solve that. If you remember, the first part or the first number in the multiplication equation is how many groups. So I see 1, 2, 3 groups. So that's the first number in my multiplication equation. 3 groups of, how many are in each group? 7. And we already figured out that 3 groups of 7 equals 21. We also need to include, oh boy, this is going to be bad. We also need to include the label. So when we're talking about 21, what do we mean? Are we talking about monkeys? We're talking about bananas? We're talking about pies? No, we're talking about beads. So these are 3 different ways: a bar diagram, repeated addition, multiplication. I also drew a picture to help me better understand this problem.